was that for the officers that at that time, I remember that, and it really broke my heart, man. And it really I was so distraught when I heard those stories, bro. And it was really very devastating because I had a good friend of mine that killed himself in front of me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And when I was young and
Man,
on career, bro. Right in PSA 3, man. One of my young boys, man, and he couldn't deal with the stress, and he couldn't function. And a lot of times it's like your mind is something in your mind. It triggers, man. And I just see his face to the day, and he was a beautiful spirit, man. He would give you his shirt off his back if you needed it, you know. And
Mm.
it was a lot of cops, man. But yeah, man. What it is that it's just trying to function, and maybe trying to balance with their families, also with their job. That's
Mm.
a high demanding job,
Right, right.
and you know. But for me, I went through a lot of struggles and stuff like that, similar. And I had to get help, bro. I had to get help. I'm thankful, and I went, you know, I broke down myself. I had a mental breakdown and stuff, you know.
Mm.
And and I went through it. I went through it, bro. I went through it, man. I lost myself, man. You know, I dealt with the depression and the anxiety, and I didn't know how to function.
Mm.
And I went through a health scare, still battling that. But for me, one of the and that health scare, right? I look at it. It's a how you say, it made me strong,
Mm.
right? Because I really found, see, for me, my journey where that to help me is finding Christ. And I don't mean it like, but that's just that's I think that health scare, it brought me to where I'm at now. I could sit here in front of y'all strong than what I was before. You know, understand me? And I got stronger with that. And that's my journey, you know. And we're gonna go through, all of us is gonna go through certain challenges in our lives, but we have to find strength through those challenges. You
Mm.
understand? So, and I'm just thankful.
healthcare was a blessing in disguise.
It was a blessing. Yes, yes, that's a blessing for me, man. I got a relationship with my Lord and Savior.
Mm.
You know, and I gave my life to Christ. I got saved. I got baptized, and it's a blessing, you know. And I'm thankful to be here with y'all, man, because it didn't seem like it was a bright way for me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thankful to be here, bro. And I went through a lot.
So,
I felt like I
Ken,
went through a lot. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Hmm.
I'm a question for you. So like, when you were talking about being lost at post retirement, so did your health issue help find? You're saying it helped find that, get you out of that. It found, give you like a place to look at, to focus on. Is that what you're saying?
Let's say that again. I'm sorry. Did that again. Say that
I say
again.
you're saying like what you were talking about before about being in that darkness post the
Oh,
career after
yes,
retirement.
yes, sir.
Did the health issues you were saying, were you saying that the health issues kind of get you right locked in and finding yourself after the
Yes.
retirement? That was what
Yeah,
helped get you out the darkness, the actual
because
health issue?
when I was in that dark place, right after that is when I had my health issue, right? And all these things, I felt like it just hit me at one time, bro. I felt like I got hit with like a nuclear bomb, you know. And it made me to bring me to that place where I am at now. And I look at it in that perspective, you know.
Mm.
I don't
Wow.
feel like everything happens for no reason. It happens for a reason, you know. And I'm just thankful to be here where I'm at right now, and I have my mind intact, and I have my spirit stronger than it's ever been, you know. And I want to be I want to be a conduit to other people and other brothers and sisters who need somebody to talk to, and that's one of my goals I want to accomplish right now within in my retirement. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people, and I want others, but I want other brothers and sisters to know that they'll be safe to talk to me.
Mm.
You know, because a lot of times people don't feel safe to talk to
Right.
other people.
Right.
And I've been through it, man. I've been through it, you know, and that comes with strength. You know, the more of us together, the more stronger that we are in my
Absolutely.
mind.
Absolutely. Ken,
So yeah,
Community.
did you seek therapy afterwards? I know you kind of like kind of alluded to it a little bit. Did you actually see a
yes,
therapist? What did you do to help
I
you
was
through those
speaking.
rough times?
I spoke to a therapist. At first, I was speaking to a therapist out in out east. I was
Mm,
going there for a while. I was going to her and I was talking to her, and then I found another brother that I was speaking to on like Zoom. I was speaking to him,
mm,
and it was helping me, you know. But for me, I really feel like finding Christ, it brought
mm,
me that peace that I've never experienced in my life, bro.
mm,
It gave me that will to want to move forward and really understand who I am. And a lot of times I don't think I knew who I was, bro. I was
mm.
being fake on that job because you don't know, you didn't have the opportunity to really be yourself. You
Right.
understand?
Right. Right. Right.
That's the issue too with a lot of cops. A lot of times they gotta keep these feelings and emotions and bottled up.
Mm,
And a lot of times, what's going to happen? You're going to explode, bro.
right.
And that's why
Right.
you got people just hurting themselves.
Mm,
You understand? So that's a big reason why the suicide was going crazy in those years, man.
mm, right. Right.
And it was tough, man. It was tough. It was tough, man. But I'm thankful that I have this that I went through what I went through, and I look at it as a blessing in disguise, you know. And I'm not done, and God is not done with me, you
Hmm.
know. I really
No.
believe that, you know what I mean?
What
And I'm
if there's
Mhm.
something that you could change in regards to that? You know, like with the department overall, if there's something that you could critique in that sense, you know, like how would that change? Like because clearly, you know, the job is so demanding in a mental health aspect. Like we need to do more, you know, to reach, you know, the department and help these guys, especially even in, like you said, life after NYPD. Like there needs to be more, you know, maybe programs, things like that. Whatever it is, you know, like what do you suggest, you know, would be a
Okay.
good method, you know?
So the doctors that they have, they set up for us to talk to in like this, like the medical area. It's called the medical division. But
Okay.
these doctors, they are they're not understanding. These doctors are not cops. I
Mm,
think personally, NYPD, they should hire like some sort of like liaisons
mm-hmm.
that are retired and that's been cops before to be able to talk to officers because it's not the people who did the job before, they are the best to talk to the people going through
Mm,
certain situations. You understand me?
right.
So
Right.
I think it should be another way where officers can talk to people that they could that they could trust to with. You know, I personally think that should be a way. Somehow, you know, like a professional where they could speak to someone and also that they don't have to feel that they're going to be penalized
Right.
for
Right. Right.
discussing their issues because people
Well,
have domestic problems.
Mm-hmm.
People have
Yeah.
problems from going like how could you focus on work when you got issues at home, bro?
Yeah.
And you gotta have and you gotta run in, you gotta patrol in these streets. You gotta your head gotta be clear.
Mm,
And I know a lot of people that I worked with throughout my career, and they was dealing with those type of problems, and it was hard for them to function.
right.
because even if your head is clear, now you're putting your personal life, your family to the side
Yeah.
now.
And it's hard. Say me and you together, and we in a patrol car, and I'm going through it. How can I be there for you when my mind is somewhere else?
Right.
You understand? So you got to pretend like everything is okay, and that's how people go through it, and that's how people they wind up committing suicide.
Breaking down eventually because you
Mm,
Break it down.
continuously live in
Oh,
this fake.
how much can a person take?
right.
And you said there's no break, it doesn't end. It's your whole career. It just keeps going. It
It's
keeps going.
always
You're done.
constant. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
they should have something like that, bro. To answer your question, they should have like some sort of where retired guys or whoever could talk to these other officers, man, that could give them sort of counsel and be able to like be transparent to them.
Mm,
You never know where that conversation will go. A
sure.
conversation can go a long way, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could save a life, brother.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
if you just, it's some words. That's what helped me. I
Hmm.
had a lot of friends that would talk to me, bro. Like, yo, and I needed that conversation, and I needed that.
Hmm.
That's the best thing that I had,
Yeah.
and I had a lot of support. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thankful for that. You know, so yeah, man.
Yeah. I
That's what I
mean,
hope.
that needs to, that needs to change. I have a lot of cop friends, and from my experience talking with them, they're very sheltered dudes. And it's like
You
that's
isolate yourself.
right. It's not okay. It's just not okay. Especially listen, I was was first responder for a couple of years. I understand what you guys. I see what you guys deal with on a day to day, and it's not okay if you're not talking. It doesn't have to be a therapist, but a close friend, a family member, whatever it is. Like there needs to be some sort of outlet. You can't be bottling that up. And on top of that, like you said, you know it's call after call after call, and then there's no relief. You maybe what you could do a little vacation, but you're right back to it. You
Right back.
barely have any time to your own personal life to do anything. If you have family, friends, kids, your wife, if you have one, whatever, spouse, constantly stressed whether or not you'll come home. It's like this constant like walking on eggshells in every aspect of your life, and that needs to be talked about far more.
Yeah,
um,
man.
I know society is heavily critical on the
That's
NYPD.
another part of it too. That's another aspect of it too. We're internalizing how the public treat us.
Mm, yeah,
We're reading or we're what the media is saying about us.
sure.
The pictures that they paint us. How could you going out here, people hate you, bro. And
Yeah,
then you got to deal with that from every angle.
yeah.
And then you're dealing with the job angle, and then your personal life angle. How
Hmm.
could it's like the weight of the world is on your shoulders,
Hmm.
bro.
A lot of
And
that
it's
during the
like
2010s as well. The cops versus community. There was a lot of that during the late going into
what?
2012 into 2019. So
Mm-hmm.
many incidents. We got to get into them, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. Matt knows what I mean.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure that had to do a lot with and
Mm-hmm.
that was when the department. It felt like the mayor and the department had the beef, and the
Yeah.
cops not feeling a whole bunch. You guys know.
The
And
low morale,
it
a
seemed
lot
that
of
I was a lot of stress because you guys felt like everyone was turning on you guys at the time. That was the prevalent feeling. Am I wrong?
you're right. The real low morale. We feeling like it's
No,
the high.
the morale was at
Hmm.
the lowest. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, Ken. Go
You
ahead.
had the high demand from the public. The public was coming down on you, and then don't forget they
Hmm.
had all those shootings throughout the country
Right.
from the
Right. The
Floyd, the
Ferguson, all of them.
riots, all
Right.
of that. You know what I'm saying? And then even though those things happen in other states, we
It was a
was
perfect storm.
about
Yeah.
that here. And it was a lot, bro. I worked through that, and it was hard, brothers. It
Yeah.
was
Being
very
a black
hard.
cop in the city, and then the black community probably tough too. Even that part of it as well.
You a black guy while you co-signing this. I used to hear that. I was called the Uncle Tom.
Right.
I mean, I
Right.
Mm-hmm.
on and on, bro. I used to hear that all the time, man. Just negative, the derogatory, the sayings towards me, bro. And it was nonstop.
Mhm.
Hope you
You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
find some kind of peace of mind. Find and hope you find some kind of peace of mind. Find
Was true. Love is my love, is my
hope you find some kind of peace of mind.